Also, when it comes to software, it's good for us to keep in mind what baseline productivity levels are for programming tasks. So we have some industry research to leverage. There's no one definitive answer, but Fred Brooks, he published that decades ago, lines of code per day baseline was around 10 lines of code per day. Okay, in the 1960s in the OS 360 operating system project. Great. Capers Jones has also published research from over 19,000 projects and correlated together. I love his research. And the smaller projects, less than 1,000 function points, average lines of code per day, 38 lines of code per day per developer. For larger projects, which are greater than 10,000 function points, it goes down to around 16 lines of code per day. And Steve McConnell has also published some research, and it's not that far off. It just has a bigger range. In the smaller, in the very small projects, which is 10,000 lines of code, and roughly, by the way, one function point in Capers Jones's research, one function point typically can be implemented in around 52 lines of a high-level language like C#. And so 10,000 lines of code, these are really small projects. And the lines of code per day is from 20 to 125. But larger, very, very large code bases, 10 million, or it goes down to 1.5 lines of code per day to 25. But if you're just going to stick your finger in the air and try to just pick a reasonable average just for some economic budgeting, 25 is a safe number. And we use that all the time. And now I do have projects where after the project, I go back and I look and say, okay, what was the average? And projects that use practices that we recommend routinely get up to 100 to 125 lines of code per day, even when they creep up to 2, 3, and 400,000 lines of code. So, but these are industry averages. You don't want to be average, okay? But unless you've done specific things to be average, then you need to do that.